Gentlemen, if you've noticed that your mornings feel empty, your energy fading before the day even begins, and your body no longer responds the way it used to, this message is for you. Because if you feel weak, slow, or somehow disconnected from the man you once were, I want you to know something right now. It is not your fault, and it is not your age. The real problem is that your body is missing one simple thing you should be giving it every single morning. And once you start, everything changes. Your energy, your strength, your drive, your confidence, it can all come roaring back in a matter of weeks. I'm Dr. Lila Romano, a board-certified urologist with over a decade of clinical experience helping men over 50 restore their vitality naturally. I've seen men in their 60s, their 70s, even their 80s, regain the kind of power and stamina they were absolutely convinced was gone forever. No pills, no injections, no dangerous stimulants. Most men believe that losing energy and sexual function is just a normal part of getting older. But gentlemen, that is a lie. Your body is not shutting down. It is waiting to be nourished again. There is a powerful natural combination, something you likely already have sitting in your kitchen right now, that can reopen your blood vessels, reignite your testosterone production, and make you feel genuinely alive again. And the best part? You don't need to spend a fortune. You just need to eat this every single morning. So stay with me for the next few minutes, because I'm going to show you exactly what to eat, precisely how it works inside your body, the specific scientific studies that back it up, and the one preparation mistake that most men make that wipes out most of its power before it even has a chance to work. Gentlemen, before I reveal the combination itself, I need you to understand what is actually happening inside your body. Because once you see the problem clearly, the solution will make complete sense. When I sit across from men in their 60s and 70s in my clinic, I see the same expression every single time. A quiet frustration mixed with resignation. They look at me and say, "Doctor, I just don't feel like myself anymore." And what breaks my heart is this. They still have the desire, the love, the passion, but their bodies have simply stopped cooperating. Here's the truth most men are never told. This decline is not just aging. It is your body signaling that something vital is missing. After 40, testosterone drops roughly 1% every single year. And when testosterone drops, energy drops. When energy drops, motivation drops. When motivation drops, physical activity drops, which drops testosterone even further. It is a slow spiral most men don't recognize until they are already deep inside it. At the same time, chronic low-grade inflammation is quietly stiffening your blood vessels from the inside. Plaque builds, circulation weakens, and the organs that depend on strong blood flow, your heart, your brain, and yes, your reproductive system, begin to suffer in silence. Your body is not broken. It is starving for the right nourishment. Think of it like a car driven hard for decades. It does not need a new engine. It just needs the right oil. And the good news is, your body can bounce back faster than you think. I have seen it happen in men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. All because they began their mornings differently. Now let me tell you about a patient of mine. His name was Robert, 71 years old. He sat in my office with his head down, turning his cap over and over in his hands. He said, "Doctor, I've tried everything. Pills, tonics, those energy drinks they sell at the gas station. Nothing works anymore." His voice carried so much weight, so much exhaustion. Not just physical exhaustion, but the emotional exhaustion of a man who has been fighting and losing for a long time. I looked at him and I said, "Robert, you don't need another pill. What you need is already sitting in your kitchen." He gave me that look. You know the one. The polite, skeptical smile that says, "Come on, doc. It can't possibly be that simple." But it is. The combination I told him about was something ancient. Something that civilizations across Asia, the Middle East, and the Mediterranean had relied on for thousands of years to maintain strength, energy, and vitality well into old age. Long before pharmaceutical companies existed, long before synthetic hormones or prescription medications, men were using this. Turmeric and honey, two ingredients so ordinary that most people walk right past them in the grocery store without a second thought. Yet when these two are combined correctly, something remarkable begins to happen inside the male body. Turmeric, the golden spice, is nature's healer. It purifies your blood, reduces the inflammation. That is quietly destroying your blood vessels and strengthens your heart and your circulation. Honey, real raw honey, is nature's energy. It feeds your body with minerals and natural compounds that directly support testosterone production, balance your blood sugar, and sustain your vitality across the entire day. When you bring these two together, the turmeric opens your blood vessels and clears the path, while the honey fuels your body with steady energy and hormonal support. Robert followed the routine I gave him. 2 weeks later, my phone rang. I could hear the difference in his voice before he even finished his first sentence. "Doctor," he said, "I feel alive again." My wife cannot believe the difference. But here is what I want you to hear very carefully, because this is the part most men never find out about. There is a third ingredient, one that most people never add. And without it, you are losing up to 80% of the power of this entire combination before it even reaches your bloodstream. I'll tell you exactly what it is in just a moment. But first, let me show you the science behind why this works, because you deserve to understand this at a deeper level than just taking someone's word for it. When I explain turmeric to my patients, I tell them to think of it as the quiet mechanic working inside your body while you sleep. You cannot see it. You cannot feel it at the moment. But it is in there, systematically repairing damage that has been building up for decades. Turmeric's most powerful active compound is called curcumin, a natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant so potent that over 3,000 peer-reviewed studies have been published on its effects alone, in journals including the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry and Phytotherapy Research. This is not folk medicine. This is serious science. Here is what it does inside your body. When you are young, your blood vessels are soft and flexible. Blood flows freely everywhere. That is why energy comes naturally, recovery is fast, and erections are strong and reliable. But as you age, chronic inflammation stiffens those vessel walls. Plaque builds up. Blood flow weakens. And everything slowly fades, not dramatically, just quietly. Curcumin reverses that process. It works by switching off NF-kappa B, the master inflammation trigger in your body. When that switch goes off, your arteries begin to relax and open again. And a 2017 study in nutrition research confirmed that curcumin significantly improved endothelial function in men with compromised circulation. In plain terms, stronger blood flow means a stronger heart, a sharper mind, faster muscle recovery, and yes, firmer, more reliable erections. Not from a stimulant. From your body finally working the way it was designed to. Curcumin also protects your prostate from inflammation-driven enlargement, lowers bad LDL cholesterol, and supports your liver, which is essential because a healthy liver clears excess estrogen and keeps your hormones properly balanced. I had a patient named George, 68 years old, retired contractor, tough as nails. 3 weeks into this routine, he looked at me and said, "Doctor, I didn't realize how much pain and stiffness I was carrying until it was gone." That is what healing from the inside out feels like. It does not just fix one thing. It restores your entire system. Unlike synthetic drugs that push your body in one direction, curcumin adapts. Blood pressure too high? It works to bring it down. Blood sugar unstable? It helps balance it. It does not overpower your body. It harmonizes with it. That is why I call it nature's equalizer. But as powerful as turmeric is, it cannot do this alone. It needs its perfect companion. And that companion is something most men walk right past every single day without a second thought. When I bring up honey in my consultations, most men give me a confused look. Honey? Like what you put in tea. I understand that reaction. Because the honey most people picture, that little plastic bear on the grocery shelf, is not what I am talking about. Real raw honey is one of nature's most powerful medicines, especially for men over 50. I want to tell you about Frank, a retired firefighter in his late 60s. He came into my clinic looking defeated, shoulders down, eyes tired. "Doc," he said, "I feel like I'm running on empty. All the time, no matter how much I sleep." I told him, "Frank, your body doesn't need more caffeine. It needs fuel, the kind nature actually designed for it. Here is what most people do not know. Raw honey is not just a natural sugar. It is a living substance packed with minerals, enzymes, and bioactive compounds your body can actually use. Most importantly for men, it contains boron and zinc, two minerals directly tied to testosterone production. Research has shown that boron reduces levels of sex hormone binding globulin, the protein that locks up your testosterone and prevents your body from using it. When SHBG goes down, free active testosterone goes up. And when testosterone rises, so does your energy, your strength, your clarity, and your drive. Honey also stimulates the production of nitric oxide, the compound that signals your arteries to relax and expand. Gentlemen, this is the exact same biological pathway that prescription ED medications are designed to trigger. The difference is that raw honey does it naturally, with no side effects and no prescription required. But here is the critical point. Most honey on grocery store shelves is not real honey. It has been processed, pasteurized, and heated until every enzyme, every mineral, every beneficial compound has been destroyed. What is left is essentially liquid sugar with a honey label. Real raw honey crystallizes over time. It is thick, rich, slightly tangy. When you shop for it, look for the words raw and unfiltered on the label. Manuka honey is the gold standard. Local raw honey from a farmer's market is an excellent second choice. Frank called me 3 weeks later. His voice told me everything before his words did. Doc, I've started walking again in the mornings, sleeping better, and my wife keeps asking what I've been doing differently. That joy in a man's voice, it never gets old. Because it is proof that when you give your body what it truly needs, it rewards you in ways that go far beyond energy. But now, let me tell you about the third ingredient, the one that most people never add, and the one that determines whether any of this actually reaches your bloodstream. This is the part most people never hear. And honestly, this is where most men who try turmeric go wrong. You can take turmeric every single day. You can mix it beautifully with raw honey. You can be perfectly consistent. And if you skip this third ingredient, your body will absorb only a small fraction of curcumin's power. The rest passes right through you unused. The third ingredient is black pepper. Specifically, the active compound in black pepper called piperine. And here is the science that stopped me in my tracks when I first read it. A landmark study published in Plantamedica in 1998 by Shoba and colleagues found that combining piperine with curcumin increased the bioavailability of curcumin in the human body by up to 2,000%. 2,000%, gentlemen. That is not a rounding error. That is a transformation in how effectively your body can actually absorb and use everything turmeric has to offer. Without black pepper, most of the curcumin you consume never makes it into your bloodstream in meaningful amounts. With it, the floodgates open. Just a small pinch, a quarter teaspoon. That is all it takes to unlock the full power of everything we have been talking about. And if you want to take this one step further, there is an optional fourth addition that I recommend to many of my patients. Fresh ginger. Ginger works in beautiful synergy with turmeric because it contains its own powerful anti-inflammatory compounds called gingerols and shogales. Early research also suggests ginger may support testosterone production in men. And practically speaking, ginger is gentler on the stomach, which makes the entire mixture easier to take daily without any digestive discomfort. This is the step that turns a good morning habit into a life-changing one. Now let me show you what happens when you bring all of these ingredients together. Because the real magic, the reason men feel such dramatic changes, is not any single ingredient working alone. It is the synergy. I think of a patient named Walter, 70 years old. He sat across from me with his arms crossed and said, "Doctor, I have tried every supplement on the market. None of them last. I get 2 good weeks and then nothing." I looked at him and said, "Walter, that is because you have been trying to force your body to perform. What this combination does instead is help your body remember how. Turmeric opens the pathway. Honey fuels the engine. Black pepper unlocks the gate so everything gets through. And together, they target the 2 fundamental pillars of male vitality simultaneously. The first pillar is your heart and circulation. Curcumin clears your arteries, reduces inflammation, and restores the elasticity of your blood vessel walls. Blood rich in oxygen flows freely again to your heart, your brain, your muscles, and the organs that depend on strong circulation for function and performance. The second pillar is your hormones. Raw honey's boron reduces SHBG and frees up your active testosterone. The nitric oxide it stimulates relaxes your blood vessels further, creating the precise physiological environment that supports strong, reliable erectile function. When both pillars are working together, the transformation is not subtle. Men notice it in layers. First comes the energy, then the mental clarity, then the mood stabilizes. Then the confidence returns quietly, almost without announcement. And then one morning they wake up and realize something has shifted, something fundamental. I have seen this combination transform lives. Men who felt completely hopeless, who had accepted weakness as their new normal, suddenly found themselves standing taller, moving with more purpose, laughing more easily, looking at their partners with desire instead of quiet embarrassment. Their wives noticed before they did. One man in his late 60s sat in my office, half laughing, half emotional, and said, "Doc, I think my wife is more surprised than I am." Those are the moments that remind me why I do this work. This is not a quick fix. I want to be honest with you about that. It is a gentle, steady awakening of the natural strength your body already has inside it. But when men stay consistent with this morning ritual, the changes go far beyond the physical. They start sleeping more deeply, walking with more confidence. Their afternoon energy crashes disappear. They feel lighter and more alive in a way that is genuinely hard to put into words. And you do not have to wait months to feel the beginning of it. Within weeks, your body will start responding, as if it is thanking you for finally giving it what it has been missing. Now let me give you the exact protocol, because this is the part you are going to want to remember. My patients always look at me and say, "That's it, doctor? Just 2 ingredients." And I smile and say, "Actually, it is 3. And that third one makes all the difference. Here is exactly what you need and how to prepare it. 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. If you can find fresh turmeric root, half a teaspoon freshly grated is even more potent. Either works. 2 tablespoons of raw unfiltered honey. Look for honey that has crystallized slightly. That is your sign it is real. Manuka honey UMF 10 or higher is the gold standard. Local raw honey from a farmer's market is a great second option. And a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Non-negotiable. This is what determines whether turmeric actually reaches your bloodstream or simply passes through you unused. Want the enhanced version? Add a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger. Anti-inflammatory synergy and much gentler on your stomach. Stir everything into a thick golden paste. Eat it straight off the spoon or mix it into a cup of warm water. And I mean warm, never hot. Heat above 104 degrees Fahrenheit destroys honey's enzymes completely. Warm water only. Take it 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast on a mostly empty stomach. This is when your testosterone is naturally at its daily peak and your cells are most hungry for nutrients. That timing is not a suggestion. It is what makes this work. First week, start at half dose. Half a teaspoon of turmeric, 1 tablespoon of honey. Let your body adapt. Move to the full dose in week 2. One of my patients, Henry, 68 years old, came back after his first month and said, "Doctor, I've never been a morning person in my life, but now I actually look forward to waking up." That is what this habit does. It does not just heal your body. It gives you a reason to be excited about each new day. Consistency is everything here. 30 consecutive mornings. No exceptions. And I promise, your body will respond in ways that surprise you. Gentlemen, I want to pause here for a moment, because I can give you all the science in the world, but nothing will convince you like hearing what actually happened to real men who sat in my chair and committed to this exact routine. There was Michael, 66 years old, former high school teacher. He came in with slumped shoulders and eyes that had lost their light. He sat down and said quietly, "Doctor, I'm not the man I used to be. I feel empty inside. Blood pressure elevated. Energy depleted. Confidence gone." I told him what I told every man in that chair. Give your body what it needs every morning, and it will start to remember how to be strong again. 2 weeks later, I received an email from him. The subject line was 4 words. It's working, Dr. Romano. He was waking up with real energy for the first time in years, sleeping deeply, and feeling a spark return he had quietly accepted as gone forever. His wife noticed before he did. She told him one morning, "You're smiling again." That is what true healing looks like. Not just physical change, emotional renewal. Then there was Arthur, 73 years old, retired mechanic, rough hands, dry humor. When he first walked in, he grinned and said, "Doc, I feel like one of the cars I used to work on. Old, rusting, and out of tune." I told him we were going to change his oil. For weeks later, he walked back standing taller. Different energy entirely. He looked at me and said, "Doc, the engine's running again." His circulation had improved. His stamina had returned. And he told me quietly, with real emotion, that his marriage felt alive in a way it had not in years. These stories are not outliers. They are the pattern. Men who believed age had permanently taken something from them, discovering that all they needed was the right morning habit. Some felt changes within days, others within weeks. But every single one of them experienced the same thing in common: a powerful reconnection to themselves, to the man they remembered being. It is not a miracle. It is your body doing exactly what it was designed to do, the moment you finally give it what it needs. Now here is what I really want you to understand, because this is the part that will make you never want to skip a single morning. Once you start this routine, here is exactly what is happening inside your body and exactly when you will feel it. Curcumin begins working on your blood vessel walls almost immediately after absorption, scrubbing away the microinflammation that has been quietly strangling your circulation. Oxygen-rich blood starts flowing more freely to your heart, your brain, and yes, to the tissues that determine your sexual function. Meanwhile, honey's boron and zinc begin shifting your hormonal environment. As HPG eases downward, free active testosterone starts to rise. And when testosterone rises, the chain reaction begins. Energy, motivation, mood, muscle tone, all moving in the right direction. Here is the week-by-week breakdown most men actually experience. Week 1. You wake up more easily. Less stiffness. Sleeping more soundly. Small changes, but your body is telling you it has received the signal. Week 2. The mental fog starts lifting. Sharper in conversation. More patient. More present. The afternoon crashes that became your normal start to disappear. Week 3. The physical changes become harder to ignore. Stronger morning erections. Genuine desire returning. Energy that actually lasts through the day. Weeks 8 to 12. This is where men get emotional in my office. Not just better performance, but a feeling of being themselves again. A quiet confidence that radiates into every relationship and every area of their life. Your body is not broken. It is simply waiting for the right signal. And this morning's tonic is that signal. Before we get to your 30-day challenge, I need to give you a few quick but important warnings, because giving you what works is only half my job. The other half is making sure you do it safely. If you are on blood thinners, warfarin, aspirin, or any anticoagulant, talk to your doctor before starting. Turmeric and ginger have mild natural blood-thinning properties that can interact with those medications. If you have a history of gallstones, go easy on the turmeric. Curcumin stimulates bile production and can be uncomfortable for men with existing gallbladder issues. 3 quick preparation mistakes that will kill your results. Using hot water. It destroys honey's enzymes. Using processed honey. It is essentially just sugar, not medicine. And skipping the black pepper. Without it, you are absorbing maybe 10% of turmeric's power. Do not waste the effort. And finally, this tonic is powerful and it is backed by real science. But it is not a replacement for medical care. If your testosterone is severely low confirmed by blood work, if erectile dysfunction is significantly affecting your quality of life, please see your urologist. Use this as a powerful daily support, not as a reason to avoid the conversation you need to have. Now here is my challenge to you, gentlemen. Commit to this every single morning for the next 30 days. no exceptions. Mix your turmeric, your raw honey, your black pepper. Add ginger if you want the enhanced version. Take it 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast on a mostly empty stomach. Pair it with adequate sleep, a little daily movement, and a reduction in the processed foods that are working against everything this tonic is trying to do for you. Give your body 30 consecutive mornings of this. And then tell me in the comments below what you noticed and when. Because I want to hear your story. I want to know the morning you woke up and realized something had shifted. The day your energy came back. The moment your wife looked at you differently. Those stories matter. They matter to me, and they matter to every man who watches this channel and wonders if it is too late for him. And hit that subscribe button if you found this helpful. Because every day I bring you real science, real protocols, and real results, designed specifically for men who refuse to accept that getting older means giving up. This is Dr. Lila Romano, and I will see you in the next video.